with no namers. Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? That's right, brothers and sisters. It's time for the show with no name. Lift off. Let's go. 8, 7, 6. Come on.
5, 4,
Man, will you
3,
speed up?
2, 1.
We've got a lot of stuff to do, dude.
Ignition.
All right, let's go.
Lift off. Lift off.
Now we're talking. Ahora sí. Here we go. Here we go. Up, up, and away.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name.
Let's go. Come on, come on. Yes. Welcome one. Welcome all. It's time for another exciting English extravaganza. It's the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Show with no namers. That's for you. That's for those of you who are here with us day in, day out, dia tras dia. And it doesn't matter if you're tuned in live or if you listen 6 months later, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you are learning English and you're motivated to continue to learn English. And if that's you, well, then that applause is for you. I know it takes a lot of effort, mucho esfuerzo. It takes a lot of time, mucho tiempo también. If you want to master anything, whether it's becoming a good singer, a good painter, like my friend Rob Grams. Have you ever seen him paint? Check out his Instagram account. It's Pro Bow. And that's short for Professional Bohemian. Yeah, Pro Bow. And you can catch his show in the mornings here. Also, wherever you get your podcasts. It's the Pro Bow Show with my great friend, Rob Grams. All right, well, amigos, we're here together. It is a blessing, I would say. A blessing, una bendición. So let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha with today's pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. ¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional,
perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. GrupoVaughn.com. You can get all the info you need about any of our courses or any of our materials. We've got masters, we've got group courses, we've got a little bit of everything. So whatever you're looking for, Black Friday, and as much as you know, I hate the cliche, Black Friday, I'm sick of it, harto de ello, because I'm more of a Thanksgiving guy. But you know what? I'm also a victim, and I say that in air quotes, irónicamente, because, well, I've already bought a few things, and I have a couple things in mind that I'm going to buy, and especially like a bigger purchase. As many of you know, I'm a thuzy. A thuzy is an enthusiast, and in this case, it's theme parks. And so every year, my family and I, we get the Bono Parques. It's something here in Madrid. No me pagan por esto, by the way, Parques Reunidos, but I get the Bono Parques every year with my family, and I always wait till Black Friday because it's a lot cheaper. Let's put it that way. It's a lot cheaper to get it on Black Friday or the week. Sometimes, like Vaughn, people, they start the sales the week before. So what am I saying? I urge you, instar, we say to urge, urge. Hey, that's a false friend. So I urge you to go over to our website, grupovaughn.com. You can go to the Vaughn Tienda, vaughntienda.com as well, or you can reach out on social media. And speaking of reaching out on social media, well, folks, every day, almost every day, I would say, I get some very touching, beautiful, moving, touching, se puede decir los dos, en español es conmovedor, if I'm not mistaken. I get, emails. I get messages on Instagram, on Facebook, all over the place, even on YouTube. And really, thank you for the support, por el apoyo. You know, you guys are like, oh, Alberto, you're a great teacher, whatever. Seriously, I really mean this. I couldn't ask for nicer, más majos, nicer, kinder, es lo mismo, nice, kind, majo students, and driven, motivados a la vez. So I got an email. No, I got this on Instagram, and it's from a friend of ours in Cuba, a place I've never been to, a place I'm dying to go to. It is Cuba. And, we've got a listener there. I changed the listener's name. I always do that just in case, I don't want to give people's names, but I like to share messages. So if you want to send a message telling us your story, well, I'll read it here on the air. You can also send the message. You can send it like a voice note as well. Speaking of voice notes, before I forget, you've got another day or so to send me this week's question of the week. The question of the week this week is, what is your biggest insecurity? And to those of you who have already participated, thank you. Thank you. If you'd like to participate, you can participate by sending me a 1-minute voice message to alonso@grupovaughn.com. And I'd love to hear from you. And we'll listen to those on Thursday this week, este jueves. Tomorrow, we're debuting our new Italian section with Laura. So really, thank you guys for communicating, for not just participating in the show, but after the show. As I said, I always get amazing messages from you guys. I really, I feel blessed, bendecido. So we're going to listen to a message I recorded right now. I got it yesterday on Instagram. I haven't answered yet. So if you're listening, I'm going to answer you as well. But I wanted to share it with you guys. So as I said, I changed the person's name, but the message is word for word. And by the way, great English. You sounded great. Let's listen to a fellow show with no namer from Cuba. Hello, Alberto. My name is Indiana Jones Martinez, and I live in Cuba. Please excuse me if I'm inopportune. I don't know if this is the most appropriate place to write to you personally, but I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the meritorious work you do every day in teaching English, for having such a particular and unique style that makes you transcend the daily things of our lives. You are one of those people who arrive one day to stay in our hearts forever. For technological reasons, I can only listen to your podcasts, The Show with No Name and FYI, but I assure you that perhaps you do not realize the extent to which you illuminate the world with your voice, through your way of imparting knowledge, and the exceptional way in which you integrate it into all contexts. I want you to receive a special greeting and hug. You and all the teachers of the Vaughn Group, recognizing that you are someone very special and encouraging you to continue developing your work in the way you have done so far. Blessings to you and your family, my brother. Wow. Okay. I put some inspirational music in there, but wow, what beautiful words. I'm even a little bit choked up. Un poco, con lágrimas, un poco. Wow. Those are beautiful words. I mean, thank you. Not just for your words, but for taking the time. I know, guys, time is scarce, escaso. So just the fact that you're putting the time in to write me a message or to participate on the show or just to rate the Show with No Name or FYI, darle 5 estrellas, or leave a comment on a YouTube video, whatever it may be, I thank you really from the bottom of my heart. I feel so lucky. Thank you. Indiana Jones Rodriguez. Well, I wanted to make it an exciting name. It's not Indiana Jones. What did I say? Indiana Jones Rodriguez, I said? That's not the person's name. As I said, we're protecting the innocent. All right, folks. Now we're going to listen to something from Listen Up, which is available at the Vaughn Tienda, vaughntienda.com. So I guess I can only say 2 words right now. Listen up. Presta atención.
If you're trying a new diet, maybe you shouldn't be eating that cake. Si estás probando una dieta nueva, quizás no deberías estar comiendo esa tarta. Can you remember if she is a fussy eater? ¿Te acuerdas si es quisquillosa para comer? Would you prefer to have dinner or just a snack? ¿Preferirías cenar o solo tomar un tentempié? Can you please remind him that I don't like seafood? ¿Puedes recordarle que no me gusta el marisco, por favor? I eat healthily most of the time. Como saludablemente la mayor parte del tiempo.
Allergic to nuts.
And now the vocabulary. Ambulance.
Ambulancia.
To dial 999.
Marcar 999.
Nuts.
Frutos secos.
Customers.
Clientes.
To contain.
Contener.
To pour.
Verter. Servir.
Red wine.
Vino tinto.
Allergic.
Alérgico.
I can't imagine what it must be like being allergic to nuts. You have to be so careful with everything. I was having dinner in a restaurant last week, and there was a customer that must have been allergic to them. He must have accidentally ingested something because the manager dialed 999. There is always a disclaimer in restaurants saying may contain traces of nuts, but I guess you can't live wrapped up in cotton wool. He must have been okay though, because later he came back into the restaurant and poured himself another glass of red wine.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town, Vaughn Town, one-to-one groups, one-to-one flex, groups. You can find all that information over at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Also, don't forget, I think one of the greatest gifts you can give to one of your fellow students, a fellow Vaughn radio listener, is the much anticipated autobiography of the man, the myth, the legend, Richard Vaughn. It is out now. It's available at vaughntienda.com and wherever fine books are sold. It's Richard Vaughn's De Texas a España. And finally, folks, you can get your hands on his autobiography. I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. You know this expression. To sink my teeth into it, hincarle el diente, I think you say. I can't wait to sink my teeth into it, folks. I'm going to read it over the Christmas break, ¿no? Cuando estamos de pausa en la Navidad. Also, a couple other things that you've got right now. You've got Mary Stab, a great friend of mine, and a very, very talented individual, very athletic as well. She's talented not just as a writer, but in sports, and I even participated in the snowboarding chapter of it, because remember, it comes with audio. Well, you can get Mary Stab's English for Sport for $3. Are you serious? Yeah, €3. €3 for a book. If you, hey, for the athlete out there, and remember, atleta para nosotros no es solo alguien que hace track and field, atletismo, right? An athlete can be anybody who is deportista. So you've got English for Sport for €3, and it comes with audio. Again, as I said the other day, you've got the Pack Los Imprescindibles for €25, $24.95. You can get 9 books. It's a little collection for under €25. You can't even get a couple beers and some razor clams for that. Do you know what razor clams are? Si a razor es una cuchilla, te suena navajas, you call them in Spanish. Razor clams. We say almejas de cuchilla. Same idea, right? Also, you can get the Curso de Inglés Definitivo de Business. You can get that right now for $20.95. Any of you who work in the professional world, it's an awesome deal. If you're looking for more of a course, you know, where you do lessons and then you do different exercises with audio, well, then you've got Tu Profesor en Casa. But let me warn you, right now, we are already out of, nos hemos quedado sin, Intermediate 1. I guess it's a really popular level. We still have the beginner 1. We have Intermediate 2. And we have Advanced. And those are on sale right now for under €20. €19.90. It's a steal. In fact, let me copy the link, un segundo, and we'll put it over here in the chat. And this way, you guys can click on it and get your Christmas shopping done early. All right. Let's see. Right. Focus, Alberto. Well, hey, I want to let you guys know. I want to let you in on it And no, to let you in on it is contaros el secreto. Just in case you didn't know, we are giving stuff away. You say tirando la casa por la ventana. We say regalando cosas. We are giving stuff away. And remember, if you want to find out more about courses, there are also Black Friday deals on courses as well. If you were ever thinking about buying something, a material, or signing up for a course, do it now when it's cheaper, right? Take advantage of it. And, as again, I'm totally against consumerism. But also, if something is 70% off its normal price, well, and it's something I'm interested in, well, now's the time. And in English, we say, to strike while the iron is hot. Think of a blacksmith, un herrero. You've got to strike, hay que golpear, while the iron, el hierro, está en caliente, está en calor, no? Because if not, you can hit it all day. You're not going to bend it. No way. All right, well, let's see what we've got for today's pop quiz. It came from Listen Up, also available at Von Tienda for just under 17 euros. And this is all about improving your listening. This is like Say What sound bites, a book full of Say What sound bites. All right, so here's what I want from you guys. We were listening to stuff about being a fussy eater, dietas. They said nuts, alergias. By the way, the word nuts is a triple trouble. Did you know that? All right, let's see if you know the three meanings. Three? Maybe there are more. Maybe there are more. Actually, there are more. All right. So, meaning number one of the word nut. Meaning number one of the word nut is nuez. Okay? Fruto seco. Nuez. Another meaning, tuerca. So, there's two. Also, if you're a nut, you're un flipado, tarado. You're crazy. You're nuts. You're a nut. This guy's a nut. He's nuts. Also, nuts are huevos. We don't say eggs like you do it, right? We say nuts. Oh, man, she kicked him in the nuts. ¿Te lo sabías? Lo he apuntado, eh? This word is nuts. And then it's a part of also many idiomatic expressions as well. But wow, what a rich word, that word nut. All right, but that's not what I need from you. I just wanted to highlight that word. What I want you to give me in today's pop quiz is, I want you to use this expression. Estoy a régimen, o a dieta, y además tengo alergia a, and fill in the blank. Ahí te dejo. A lo mejor no tienes alergia. Puedes poner eso también. Lo que quiero es usar el estar a régimen y tener alergias. Okay? So, the first one, number one, estoy a régimen, o alguien, no tiene que ser tú, y además tiene o tengo alergia a tal cosa. Okay, I want to know if you know how to use those in English, those two different structures. The next one, recuérdame que, fill in the blank. But you got to tell me in English how to use that. Recuérdame que te diga tal cosa. Recuérdame que haga una tortilla francesa. Right? Recuérdame que te cuente un secreto. Whatever you want. I want to see if you can use recuérdame que haga tal cosa. The next one, the third one, is I want you to use the structure me recuerdas a o me recuerda a algo. Este sitio. Again, you can be pretty creative especially with the second and third one, right? So again, today's pop quiz, we're going to look at several different structures and the vocabulary around those structures. Number one, estoy a régimen y además tengo alergia a tal cosa. The second one, use the structure recuérdame que tal. And number three, use the structure me recuerda a, which is also a structure that I've seen people mix up quite often. Amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We've got so much to do. When we come back, we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite. We'll take a look at your pop quiz answers. We've got our spelling bee and so much more, amigos. We're going to play. We're going to laugh. We're going to learn some English when we come back. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to download the free app. And this way you can listen to your favorite programs everywhere you go. Also, I'm looking at our Twitter over here, X, whatever it's called. And right now, we've got another deal going on as well for Black Friday. And you can get a 50% discount on the Curso Online de Auto Estudio Advanced. Hey guys, that's you. You're advanced, most of you. So if you want to get a 50% discount on this Curso Online de Auto Estudio Advanced, just go to grupovon.com. And you know what? Let's see. I'm going to send you the link. I can put it right here, guys. So I've got the link to the materials. I've also sent you a link to the deal on the course. So lots of good deals. You might want to peruse. And to peruse means echar un vistazo. It's a very formal way of saying, no, mirar, ojear. You might want to peruse grupovon.com and vontienda.com, depending on whether you're looking for a course or you're looking for materials. We've got you covered either way, amigos. All right, you know what time it is? It's time for the Say What soundbite. Come on. Say what? What? Say what soundbite, bite, yeah. All right, guys. We were talking about nuts before. Oh, man. What a rich word. Also made me think of the word peanuts. Peanuts. It means poca cosa, right? Man, he gets paid peanuts. Le pagan poca cosa. Peanuts. And then what other nuts do we have? We've got cashews. I love those. You know what those are? Cashews anacardos. Oh, man. Gotta love cashews. And this one's easy for you. Pistachios. We pronounce it a little bit different. You say pistachio. We say pistachios. Then you've got almonds. Almond, it's not mond, it's mind. Almendra. Pine nuts, those are big in Spain. Piñones, you say? You use them to cook a lot. Then you got hazelnut. This is pretty nutty today. Nutty, algo que sabe a fruto seco, pero nutty es loco. Thank you, folks. Hazelnut, avellana. Macadamias. And what about walnut? Walnut, ¿cómo se dice esa? Nogal, nuez de mariposa, nogal. Walnut. Oh, those are yummy. We use those a lot in the United States, walnuts. They're pretty popular in desserts and muchos postres. So if you like nuts, you can say you're nuts about nuts. Oh, guys, I'm unstoppable. Don't try and stop me, believe me. Nothing's gonna stop my jokes. And if this world runs out of laughter, we'll still have each other. I know, I'm nuts. I'm nuts. And I'm nuts about nuts. They're actually good for you, aren't they? All right. I'll move on. But maybe I'm not. Maybe this has something to do with nuts. Do you guys think I would be that twisted? ¿Tan retorcido? You bet. Pues claro que sí. Here's the Say What soundbite for the first time.
That's one of the fortunate things is that I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience. You never can really slant your work toward any specific audience. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny and just hoping that everybody else will like it too.
All right. Sounds like a really nice person, right? My first thoughts are, wow, sounds like a grandpa type, you know? Like, oh, very soft-spoken. Alguien que habla así, we say the opposite of me, el inverso. I've never been soft-spoken. It's just, it's like my daughter. What does that mean, soft-spoken? We don't understand that. I'd love to be soft-spoken. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses in life, and I don't know how to be soft-spoken. How do you say soft-spoken? Ahora tengo la curiosidad por saberlo. See, that curiosity will keep you learning all day. De voz suave. I'm like, wake up. All right, so let me play it for you a second time, and then we'll take a look at your answers. I see a lot of people are participating in our pop quiz, and also I'd like to hear what you thought of today's Say What soundbite. So here it is for the second time.
That's one of the fortunate things is that I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience. You never can really slant your work toward any specific audience. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny and just hoping that everybody else will like it too.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer, or football as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que ha sido a gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. That's right, folks. There's another great gift idea. This book is the shit, my latest book. And as you know, it's available at Von Tienda or wherever fine books are sold. En todas las grandes almacenes. Is that how you say that in Spanish? All right, well, amigos, let's take a look over here and see who's with us, ready to rock and roll on this awesome morning. Well, unless you're listening to us in the evening. Either way, it's a pleasure. And I thank you once again for not just the effort, but also the time, because like everything in life, you don't. I honestly believe this. Nothing in life gets done without time and effort. So you can put in the effort, but you got to put in the time as well, right? It's not just one or the other. You got to put in the time and the effort, my amigos. All right, so let's see what we've got. Let's see who's with us. And we've got Chris Valrol. Speaking of people who put in time and effort, it's Chris Valrol, and she says, morning, awesome show with no-namers. What a beautiful message from our Cuban Indiana. Yeah, well, I changed his name to protect the innocent. There's Profe Manu. What's up, Profe Manu? And Profe Manu says, good morning, good people. Speaking of good people, what a good person. Profe Manu in the house. All right, Chris. Chris says, I'm on a diet, and I also have a nut allergy. She says, thank God I don't have any allergies, as far as I know. Chris, perfect. Absolutely perfect, Chris. Wonderful job. So I'm on a diet, and I also have a nut allergy. Thank God I don't have any allergies, as far as I know. Perfect. Now, what I was concerned with there is a lot of people say, I'm in diet. I'm on diet, porque estoy a dieta. But nosotros en una dieta. Think of it that way. So I'm on a diet. Y va todo junto. I'm on a diet. And I also have a nut allergy. That's important to know how to say if you go to a restaurant abroad. And Chris, glad to hear you aren't allergic to anything. Y eso es otra forma de expresar esto. I'm allergic to nuts. Tengo alergia a los locos. I told you it wasn't going to stop there. In Spanish, tengo alergia a huevos. Huevis, those, all right? Jugando siempre con las palabras. So we can also say I'm allergic to tal cosa también. All right, let's see. The next one, remind me to download the tickets to my mobile. Perfect. That's very British of you, Chris Valrol. The mobile, what a British one. Yes, well, it's fine. It's lovely. Remember, in the United States, we say cell. Your cell phone or your cell. All right, let's see. That place reminds me of my town in Asturias. Chris, knocking it out of the park. Home run. Let's see. Profe Manu says, I'm on a diet. All right. I'm allergic to. What are you allergic to? Or I'm not allergic to anything, or I don't have any allergies. Right? Así sé que sabes ponerlo en contexto. And he says, remind me to take. You want me to finish the sentence? Okay. I will remind you to take a shower. But I shouldn't have to remind you. Yo te lo termino, eh? And the last one, he rings a bell. Él me suena. Very good. To remind somebody of, you can say, also, it rings a bell. Nice job. Now, just remember, there's a really, really common mistake. Y quiero que lo apuntes ahora mismo. It rings me a bell. That is wrong. It rings me a bell. We don't say, it rings a bell to me. Or directamente, his name rings a bell. Right? No hace falta ni el to me. Es como el repeat. En español dices, repítemelo. En inglés es repítelo. So, repeat it en vez de repeat it to me. Porque no hace falta. Si yo te lo pregunto, evidentemente es a mí. Right? So, es otra forma de verlo. Decimos lo mismo. All right, let's see. There's our champion spelling bee master, born to Iron Man. What's up, buddy? Great to have you with us as always. And he says, morning, friends. I'm on a diet. And besides, I'm allergic. Cuidado, la última no es una G, es una C. I'm allergic to nuts. Now, fijaos. Did I say to or to? I said to. Listen. I'm allergic to. Porque ¿qué es importante en esa frase? Allergic y la alergia. So, en inglés ponemos énfasis en las palabras importantes. En español no. Tengo alergia a los nueces. Tengo alergia a los frutos secos. Ta 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 ti ta ta ta. There's nothing that's more important than the other thing. In English, I'm allergic to nuts. ¿Qué dos palabras sobresalieron de ahí, de la frase? Si lo digo yo, pues ahí ya no es tan importante, porque lo estoy diciendo. Solo me lo como. I'm allergic to. I'm allergic, is where you really hear it, to nuts. Allergic and nuts, y la cabeza inglesa, anglosajona, tiene alergia a los nuts. No tengo que ni escuchar el resto. Well, I think it's important to highlight that, because honestly, that's a major difference between how we speak the languages, where we put the emphasis, right? The cadence of the language, which, as you guys know, is something that I've always found really fascinating. So, okay, so he says, I'm allergic to nuts, con C en vez de G. Please remind me, the show with no name starts at 10:30 every weekday. And it's good because I haven't heard anybody say, please remember me. Oh, well, I've had students say, remember me. I had a student say, Alberto, remember me tomorrow. I'm like, well, I'm not going to have amnesia. And what do you think? I have amnesia or something? What do you mean, remember you? And they wanted to say, recuérdame mañana. So just be careful, because a lot of people make mistakes with this remind and remember. So I like to remind you from time to time. And think about this too. Here's another one for you. This is, I'll never forget Richard Vaughn explaining this. And he said, he came into our training class. This is incredible, this story. This is the first time I met Richard Vaughn. And he came into our class, our training class, and he introduced himself, the usual stuff you do, and he drew a head on the board. Okay, he's not an artist. It was just like a cartoon head. And he says, how do you teach lessons? Well, he says, all of you know the difference between remind and remember. You all use it correctly. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. You all know it. is what he said. He goes, but how do you explain it to the student? That's the part. You have to not just know it, you have to know how to instill it, inculcarlo in the student. So we have to simplify it, and we have to understand it in a simple way ourselves. So he drew that head, and inside the head, he wrote, remember. Como es algo que tú haces dentro de tu cabeza. No necesita externo. Okay? Nothing has to act on it. I remember when I was a kid. Maybe something reminded me, but it's not necessary. I remembered it. Okay? Maybe I just remembered it because it came back to me when I had forgotten it. But the idea behind remember is it's done in your head by yourself. And then on the outside, he wrote remind. And he drew an arrow, una flecha. And he goes, and reminding comes from an external source, right? And it was incredible because even though I speak English and I'd known how to use it my whole life, I never knew how to, I never thought about the difference, and I never would know how to teach it to someone else. So thank you, Richard Vaughn. I saw the light, brothers and sisters. So, and sure enough, when I started teaching at these big corporations, I started having students say, remember me this. And I'm like, excuse me? And I was like, ooh, Richard Vaughn, look, they make mistakes with remind and remember. And I learned in Spanish, the best way is write this down. I remember when I was a kid. Okay, me acuerdo cuando yo era un niño. Nadie, porque yo lo hago, yo, solo. Everything in this town reminds me of when I was a kid. Okay? Todo en este pueblo, apúntalo, es una historia. Everything in this town, like Chris just said, you inspired it, Chris. So everything in this town reminds me of when I was a kid. Me recuerda todo en este pueblo de cuando yo era un chaval. Remind me to tell you some funny stories later. Recuérdame que te cuento algunos cuentos graciosos más tarde. Hey, this way, you've got all three structures, and you don't just write them down, but what do you have to do? You've also got to say them aloud, because I'm more concerned with you knowing how to say, remind me to, than escribir, remind me to, right? So once you've written it, the most important part, if you want to practice your speaking, which I imagine all of you do, is you have to vocalize. You got to say it, okay? All right, let's see. And Born to Iron Man says, your colorful cap reminds me having a good time in a tropical place. Just be careful. It reminds me of. So, me recuerda a. Okay? Pero por eso quería que lo usáramos. But great effort. Solo tenemos que meter el of. So, vamos a repasarlo. I remember tal cosa. I remember you. Remember yesterday. Walking hand in hand. Love letters in the sand. I remember you. Any rockers? Skid Row. Vaya canción. Me acuerdo de ti. All right. Luego es remind me to verbo. Recuérdame que. So remind me to y pones el infinitivo. Remind me to be nicer next time. Okay, si usas el verbo to be, es el infinitivo ahí. Okay, and the other one, something reminds you of sustantivo. O sea, uno va con sustantivo, otro va con verbo, ¿no? All right, so great job, guys. Anybody else? All right, let's move on. We've got today's Say What soundbite. Chris Valrol is giving us her feedback, her take, su opinión. And she says, I heard a man. American? She's not sure about that. Well, you can say, para usar el might, I heard a man. He might be, ¿no? Porque en español muchos no usáis el might y el may. Y es clave. Es clave. So you could say there, I heard a man who might be American. Not sure, though. And he could belong to show business. Yeah, definitely. Because he talks about having a pretty broad audience. All right. Let's pronounce that word porque lo he oído pronunciado mal muchas veces. Porque se dice en el extranjero, ¿cómo se dice? Abroad or abroad? Odd. Abroad. He lives abroad. He lives on Broadway. So just be careful. Say it with me because I've heard that word mispronounced thousands of times. Broadway. And if not, you got the song. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway, on Broadway. Yeah. They say the... All right, I'll stop. Not with the jokes, though. Not with the jokes. Especially if they have to do with nuts. So then she says, because he talks about having a pretty broad audience and something about it that is funny, but I couldn't catch his words. He speaks pretty fast for me. Well, Chris, great effort. Wonderful effort, Chris Valrol. And folks, I can't believe it, but we've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope you're ready for more challenges that we've got up ahead. When we come back, we're going to take a look at today's homophones. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time, and then get ready for an action-packed spelling bee. That, plus music, movies, Double Trouble, famous birthdays, and so much more. So, say it with me. 3, 2, 1, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. That's right, folks. We've got tons of stuff to do in this part of the show. Just a quick reminder, you guys can follow my friends' programs wherever you get your podcasts, or if you've got the Vaughn Radio app, you can listen wherever, however, whenever. It doesn't matter. There's no wrong place to learn English. And you can learn with Rob Grams and the Probo Show, Fitz and No Excuses, Richard Vaughn Live, The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez, Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank, and my buddy Kyle Miller's got a lot of challenges lined up for you every day on Drive Time. You've also got The Salad with Dave Boys. You've got Speak Up with Ruby. You've also got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. And I know of course, how can I forget? Two great friends of mine, Rob and Andy, shooting the shit, estando de palique. Se puede decir shooting the breeze or shooting the shit on the Lunchtime Show. Every day here on Vaughn Radio. And I know I must be leaving someone out. Oh man, what's the show that goes right after this show? I can't, it's
He-Man, I will test your English. Yes, she'll test your English. He-Man, I will test your English with Nacho. Wow. That's right, Test Your English is on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30 with Jimena and Nacho.
That's right, it's Test Your English. And it's an awesome show that you can tune into every day with Jimena Holiday, who is responsible, her, Claudia, Carmen, the dream team. All of our materials come from them, all right? Or at least pass through them. They are the filter. They are the ones who put the Vaughn seal of approval, de aprobación, on all of our different courses, whether it's our online course or any of our materials. And again, if you're looking for courses and materials, well, I hate to say it, but Black Friday is the time to take advantage of those stellar deals. All right, amigos, let's kick off with some homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no homophones. Show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And on today's homophones, I think these will be pretty easy. Prove me right. All right. The first word is guisantes. Guisantes. I know it's a very popular dish here. And I love how you guys make them with jamon, with Spanish ham. Ooh. Hey, we're talking about nuts. We're talking about, guisantes. Oh, that's funny. De hecho, si dices la palabra, I never realized that. Fíjate, 47 años. If you look at the word guisante y Nuez, o realmente fruto seco, you say, it's nuez guisante. O sea, porque viene en una vaina. Makes sense. O sea, cacahuete es nuez guisante o fruto seco guisante. That's crazy. I just realized that. All right, well, frutos secos no. I'm looking for the word guisantes, but en plural. Okay, guisantes. And the second word is paz. Any hippies out there? I'm a hippie. Yeah. I don't look like a hippie, but I live like a hippie. I love to be barefoot, sin zapatos, for example. I have an iPhone because, well, I need a phone. So, but, you know. All right. So I'm sure you're familiar with both of those words. So what are they? And do they sound the same or not at all? All right. The first one, guisantes. The second one, paz. What are those two words? And do those words sound the same or not? Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. It's a tricky one today. Here it is for the third time, folks.
This is one of the fortunate things is that I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience. You never can really slant your work toward any specific audience. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny and just hoping that everybody else will like it too.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, amigos. You know it. It's Vaughn groups. And what a way not just to get motivated about learning English, but also to make friends. Hey, wait, that sounds like what we do here on the show with No Name every day. Yeah, but only this is together in a class and you guys are speaking. Now here, I imagine you're speaking. But I can't check you. We don't have that technology yet. Or maybe we do. Well, the normal people don't. But I'm sure there's technology to listen, to know if people, that two-way communication. And I don't mean a video phone call. That's easy. But it would be really cool to be able to hear you guys. Well, that's also what the whole question of the week is. That's the culmination of all these hours of listening and participating every week. And if you haven't participated, you still got some time. So get on it. All right, let's see what we've got over here in our homophones. The first person to take a stab at it is Born to Iron Man. And those are the correct words, sir. And he says they sound alike. Let's see. Chris Valrol gives us the two words, and she says they're homophones, I'd say. Laura, good morning, lovely Laura. Tomorrow we debut your section. Exciting. She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Sorry I'm late, but better late than never. Laura, you know it. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. In fact, today's Say What soundbite is causing some trouble. So we need you. All right. And Laura, she's not too late to participate in the homophone section. And also she gives us the two correct words. And she says they sound alike. Okay. Well, let me say both words. Isn't that how we always do it? The first word is peas. Peas. Okay? I don't like peas. It's true. That's a true story. I used to spit out the peas when my mom would feed them to me. Okay? Peas. Him and his brother are like two peas in a pod. Right? I think you say two peas in a pod, como siempre se me olvida eso, peas in a pod. Like two peas in a pod, en una vaina. Ser como dos gotas de agua. So, one is a pea, right? Y como he flipado con eso. Peanut. No, o sea, cacahuete es fruto seco guisante. Peanut. Bueno, también porque es... Look at that. See? The one that doesn't make sense is pineapple. Manzana de piña con pinos. It's a weird one. Or eggplant. Bueno, también tiene sentido eggplant. Eggplant is berenjena. Parece un huevo, no? It's egg-shaped. The British call it aubergine. Aubergine, yes. All right, so the first word, peas. Say it with me. Peas. Peas. It rhymes with please. Please pass the peas. Right? Es please sin la L, básicamente, el sonido. And the second one, peace. Okay? Voy a decir, quiero paz. Ahora, pasa los guisantes. I want peace. So please, pass the peas. They are not homophones. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? Did I just fool you guys? I'm not celebrating, but wow, it's hard to do. Wow. Well, they are not homophones, folks. Nope. The first one is peas. Let's rhyme some words with it, please. So peas, please, wheeze. To wheeze is when you can't breathe, you wheeze. To tease, vacilar, right? To sneeze, ha-choo, right? So these are all words that rhyme with peas. I can't eat peas. I'm allergic. I sneeze. Please don't give me peas. Or I'll be on my knees. Okay, tienes muchas palabras que tienen ese zzz al final. Okay, es un sonido muy importante como el v en inglés también. Y el f, right? These are sounds you'll hear over and over in English. And the second word, peace. Peace rhymes with lease. Arrendar. To lease, como leasing de un coche. So peace rhymes with lease, rhymes with fleece, que es un tipo de tela, rhymes with police, right? So that's an S. La segunda es S pura. And it is a homophone, in fact. So peace, P-E-A-C-E, sounds exactly like piece, trozo, o pieza de algo. So I want peace, quiero paz. So give her back her piece of cake, okay? Quiero paz, así que devuélvele su trozo de tarta. We looked at cake before. Oh, we're talking about food a lot here today. I'm going to end up eating the microphone. And I've been doing good with that, guys. Últimamente he evitado hablar de comida todo el rato. Me cuesta, eh? But they are not homophones. But I'm going to give you an applause for participation. Now, also, I wanted to look at, while we're at it, aquí estamos, I wanted to look at two expressions that are very similar, but very different at the same time. Okay, so to give somebody a piece of your mind is to tell them exactly what you think, right? Oh, wait till I see him. I'm going to give him, apunta, le voy a dar un trozo de, le voy a cantar los 40, you say. I think, le voy a echar una bronca, vamos, se va a enterar, would be the translation, I think. Se va a enterar. When I see him, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Eso es P-I-E, un trozo, okay, de mi mente. Now, there's another expression that it's used a lot in insurance commercials, los anuncios de aseguradoras. Do you want peace of mind? Eso es tranquilidad. Pero ese peace es paz. So they're very similar. They sound the same, but the structure is different and the word is different since they are homophones. So, apunta. I'm looking for some peace of mind. Quiero un poco de tranquilidad, paz de mente. And to give someone, ahí va la persona, I gave him, le di a él, una bronca, le eché, you would say, una bronca. I gave him a piece of my mind. So just make sure you don't mix those two up. And folks, wonderful job. It was a tough one. And speaking of tough, you know what's next. It's our spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. All right, folks. It is our spelling bee. Oh, and Chris, great. I didn't even remember that song. There's a song called Peace of Mind by the group Boston. They're a great group, by the way. Chris, well, all of you, I think all of you have good taste in music. And now I can't think of the exact song, because if not, you know, I'd be singing it already. But great. It's great because you're never going to forget it now. Especially now, you listen to the song thinking, peace of mind, tranquilidad. I want some tranquilidad. All right. Well, you're not going to get any peace of mind here in today's spelling bee. In fact, maybe after round one, you're going to give me a piece of your mind. Me vais a echar una bronca for going so fast. But let's see. Let's see if you guys can hack it. Another way of saying to see if you can take it is to see if you can hack, como hackear. Same. Ahí tenemos un double trouble. Espera, apuntado. Let's see if you can hack it. A ver si podéis con ello. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word, as we always do, just for the sake of simplicity. All right. Is everybody ready? Here we go. The first one is CHRISTOPHER space COLUMBUS. The second one is PUERTO space RICO. The next one is JUAN space PONCE space LEON. The fourth one is BORICUA. The fifth one, ISLA space ENCANTO. And the last one is SAN space JUAN space BAUTISTA. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan. Brilliant. That's right, folks. The Oxford Test of English, and you can get it done at any of our Vaughan centers, whether it's in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. And a shout out to all our friends, a special shout out to all of our friends in Valencia. I know that it was now, some time ago, but the way these things work is there's something called an aftermath for a reason. No existe la palabra secuelas por algo. So I hope, even though the storm is gone, that the aftermath is, well, at least bearable. Al menos aguantable. I know it's not fun rebuilding. Some people lost their lives. Others lost their livelihood. Your life is evidentemente tu vida. Your livelihood is lo que te da de comer. Your business, your house, whatever it is, the things that you've built. And that is very, very sad. So a shout out. I know it's way after the fact, and we did give everybody a shout out when it happened, but it's not over, and we're sending all our amigos in Valencia all our strength. All right, Valencia, and I mean anybody who was affected by the inclement weather, and that's an understatement. Inclement weather es lo que ponen cuando cierran los teleski. We're closing the ski area due to inclement weather. Es un término súper oficial. All right, let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man taking a stab at our spelling bee. The first one is correct, sir. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one's correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Yeah, welcome back. Yesterday you had a little slip up, but we forgive you because 99.9999% of the time you don't mess up, and you're fast as hell. You're faster than today's Say What soundbite guy. All right, great job. Born to Iron Man. Also, take a look over here. We've got Chris Valrol and Laura as well. Wow. Excellent job there, the Holy Trinity. All right, folks. This is round two. Here's where anybody at an low intermediate level of English should be able to get these words down. Okay? The first one is just for people who have trained their ears and they're really good at writing and listening at the same time, which is a skill in and of itself, en sí mismo, right? In and of itself, we say. Es una habilidad en sí mismo, poder escuchar y apuntar a la vez. All right, here we go. The first one is CHRISTOPHER space COLUMBUS. The second one is PUERTO space RICO. The third one is JUAN space PONCE space LEON. The fourth one is BORICUA. The fifth one is ISLA space ENCANTO. And the sixth and final one is SAN space JUAN space BAUTISTA. All right? That's very fair, that speed, a esa velocidad. And again, a nice job to our amigos. Born to Iron Man, Chris Valrol and Laura. Wonderful job. And these words all had something to do with Puerto Rico. That's right. And our first word was Christopher Columbus. You call him Cristobal Colón. Just remember, in English, a colon is dos puntos. A semicolon is punto y coma. So it's not Christopher Colon. No creo que lleva dos puntos en su nombre, ni punto y coma. So Christopher Columbus, we call him. Number 2 is Puerto Rico. Number 3, Juan Ponce de León, who discovered the area, one of the conquistadores. Number 4, Boricua, what we call people from Puerto Rico, Boricua. Number 5 is one of the nicknames of this beautiful place. If you've never been, it's gorgeous. It's Isla del Encanto. It really lives up to its name. And last but not least, San Juan Bautista. And what is that? Well, that is the original name of Puerto Rico before it was changed. Amigos, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show. When we come back, we've got Double Trouble, Say What soundbite for the 4th time, movies, music, and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. Monday through Friday, you can learn English and laugh with us. Oh, yeah. And don't forget all the other amazing programs we have on Vaughn Radio. All day long, you can have fun and learn English with your amigos Jimena Holiday, Kyle Miller, Andrea Vaughn and Rob Grams, Chris Frank, Richard Vaughn, how could I forget? And so many more. Folks, this is Vaughn Radio. Your, not just your English class, your family. Because think about it, us, entre nosotros, we're like family. And you guys, well, you're part of that family. See how that works? So thank you for being a part of our family, the Vaughn family that Richard Vaughn started so long ago. Yeah, in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, it was decades and decades ago. And here we are, still kicking ass. All right, amigos, it's time for Double Trouble. Yeah. Double trouble, baby. Come on, baby, come on. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it 2, 3, 4. Double. Come on. Double trouble. Yes. I said double trouble. Double trouble. Come on, baby. I said double trouble. All right, amigos, here's your double trouble. I think it's going to be a piece of cake. Hey, we looked at the word piece before and cake. Pan comido. It's going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a breeze. Facilísimo. Here we go. Él es muy motivado, pero me ha vuelto loco desde que me acuerdo. Ahí lo tienes. Desde que tengo memoria, yo. So, él es muy motivado, ¿ok? Pero me ha vuelto loco desde que me acuerdo, ¿no? Desde el primer momento, ¿no? Desde que tengo uso de mi memoria. You could say it however you want, obviously. Say it in English. I think it's really easy. And we even looked at the word, I think, in the first part of the show today. And we've looked at it many times because I use the word motivado to describe you guys. Not every show. Maybe sometimes I'll say motivated, but sometimes I'll say this word. So, él es muy motivado, pero me ha vuelto loco desde que me acuerdo, desde el principio. All right. And also, here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
This is one of the fortunate things is that I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience. You never can really slant your work toward any specific audience. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny and just hoping that everybody else will like it too.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. More information about Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, or any of our initiatives, just go to grupovon.com. Also, if you're following us on social media, we'll be telling you about all the deals we've got going on materials and or courses. So follow us. I can't stress enough. Now's the time. Follow us on social media, and this way you'll be in the know, enterados. All right, let's see. Speaking of in the know, it looks like we've got some students over here who are in the know. Let's see if they got today's double trouble. The first one to participate is Chris Valrol. And she says, he's really driven, but he drove me crazy from the first moment. All right. Sería me volvió loco, but all right. It's the same, okay, different tense there. So he's really driven, but he drove me crazy from the first moment. We'll take it, Chris. Laura, he's very driven, but he's driven me crazy since I can remember. Yes. it's perfect. But I'm seeing if anybody used the one I had in mind. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. He's way driven, bastante super, but he's driven me nuts since I remember. Sería mejor since I can remember, but great. Esa es la que buscaba. To drive me nuts. Ya sé que sabes crazy. Pero como miramos tantas diferentes formas de hablar de loco y todos los usos de nuts, era para ver si alguien usó la palabra nuts en vez de crazy. So, he's driven. Y ojo, he oído mucha gente pronunciarlo driving. Right? He's driven. But he has, se contrae. He's driven me nuts since I can remember. Right? Since day one. Okay? Since we were kids, you can use whatever reference you want there. So wonderful job. And you are driven. Por eso conocíais la palabra, lo uso para describiros a vosotros. Laura says, I heard an American man who seems to be satisfied because a show he's participating in appeals to a broad audience and is funny to everyone. Excellent job. And I'll tell you what, I have said the name of his program, of his thing, of his claim to fame, su razón por ser famoso, a couple times on the show. I told you, I'm a bit twisted, un poco retorcido. So if you're paying attention, then maybe you might even know who it is. Well, either way, we'll take a look at who it is and all the ins and outs in just a bit. But right now, folks, we are going to the movies. Name that movie. All right, folks, welcome to the movies, or as my British friends would say, the cinema. But we say, I'm going to the movies. The place is called the movie theater, but we normally just say the movies. And the British would say, I'm going to the cinema. Hey, same idea, different way of expressing it. And I know you know the totally native way to say it. We're going to catch a flick. Vamos a ver una peli. Again, I recommended it. If you have to choose one, Gladiator 2, because going to the movies is expensive. You have to take out a second mortgage. Rehipotecar tu casa. That's true. It's fucking expensive. Popcorn, all that jazz, and you're like $50. There's three. What? Whoa. We're going to Disney for a little bit more. No, tampoco. But if you have to choose, Wicked. It's pretty wicked. Como os dije ayer, es bastante molona. I really enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. My daughter enjoyed it. And that's rare when all of us leave the theater like, oh, wow, that was entertaining. And the craziest part, my 18-year-old nephew enjoyed it. 18, male, macho, no tiene las papeletas para que le guste. Yeah, well, he liked it. Well, he didn't complain about it. And he was like, oh, it was pretty good. Le costó admitirlo. All right, here's today's movie. A slobbering Saint Bernard, to slobber, babosear, right? Slobber, dogs slobber, and a Saint Bernard is a breed of dog, okay? So a slobbering Saint Bernard becomes the center of attention for George and Alice Newton's loving family, who must contend with dog-napping local veterinarian Dr. Herman Varnick and his henchmen Harvey and Vernon. All right. Sound familiar? A slobbering Saint Bernard, estos perros, becomes the center of attention, el centro, el foco, you say, for George and Alice Newton's. Cuando hay un posesivo, no hay que poner George's and Alice's. Se unen como uno tal y tal. The Jones and Johnson's party. ¿no? Se pone al final de todo y se usa como una frase ahí para no poner demasiados s's, right? The Joneses and the Johnsons, it's too much. So the Jones and Johnsons party is tomorrow. Ahí ya ponemos el S y incluimos como un grupo ahí. So they're loving family who must contend with a dog napping. Now, I know you don't know the word nap como siesta, right? But also to nap, in this case, is to snatch. Cerdos y diamantes, en inglés se llama snatch. Robar, coger. Lo uso. Snatch es un sonido, realmente. That's snatch, okay? So, must contend with a dog-napping local veterinarian. ¿Te cuesta esa palabra? Pues no lo digas, di vet. Pero no digas bet. Me acuerdo de mi mujer when we had Simón. I have to go to the bet. I have to go to the bet. La apuesta. I'm like, what the hell is this woman talking about? The bet. And then later she came back with the dog and she said, oh, yeah, the bet. I'm like, the vet. Oh, my God. And now my daughter corrects her. I stay quiet. She's like, Mom, it's not bet, it's vet. Hey, it's part of a game, too. Because if Lara feels like she's teaching my wife, then she's going to want to use English even more, right? So I always say, I'm your English teacher and your mommy's English teacher. And she said, yeah, mommy needs me to teach her. Guys, it's great because she's reinforcing things and helping my poor wife who can't speak English, right? Now, she's a good sport, ¿no? Se porta bastante bien y se deja. All right. And then it says the other word I wanted to give you here is henchman. And a henchman is the people behind you who, if they carry out your orders, okay, llevan a cabo tus órdenes. Secuaz, asistente, no? My henchman. You know who had henchmen? Dr. Evil. Okay, Dr. Evil had henchmen. All right, let's see. We've got a winner. Please give it up for Chris Valrol. The movie is Beethoven. That's right, Beethoven, which is about a dog. It's about a dog. It's written by John Hughes, crack, and it stars a dog. It's ¿qué más quieres que te diga? Protagonizado por un perro. All right, let's see. George says, I really don't like our dog. Acuérdate, el our, yo lo digo como our, ¿no? Porque ahí our no es importante, entonces pasamos por encima casi. I really don't like our dog. Yo naturalmente digo our. I really don't like those people, Alice answers. I really don't like those people, George. I don't trust them. No me fío de ellos. I don't want their money. No quiero su dinero. Y eso es otro. Their, de ellos, es igual que their, ahí. So no es their, it's their. I don't want their money. I know my opinion doesn't matter, but I'm not interested in expanding. No, en expandir. No me interesa. Ahí tenemos la estructura. I'm not interested in gerundio. Okay? I'm not interested in arguing with you. De ahí cogemos la estructura. If I had been home, si hubiese estado en casa, if I had been, que se puede contraer, if I'd been home, instead of helping you impress those morons, okay, en vez de, instead of, cuidado, muchos dicen instead. Primero, apréndetelo con of, y segundo, imagínatelo sin la a. Instead of, una sola. Instead of helping you impresionar, complacer, those morons. That's one of my favorite words in the English language. Moron. Idiota. I love that word. Y luego me enteré que hay una base que se llama morón. I'm like, oh, wow. I got to get the t-shirt. I just like the way it sounds. Moron. Idiota. Anyway, Emily wouldn't have fallen in the pool. Emily no se hubiese caído a la piscina. She wouldn't have. El have se suena como of cuando lo contraemos. She wouldn't have fallen, participio, into the pool. And I'm not re-entering the workforce, George, y yo no voy a entrar al mercado laboral de nuevo, George. You're going to have to do this on your own. And you will. Y lo harás. Somehow you'll make a fortune. De alguna manera te forrarás. You'll make a fortune. And tucked away, guardadito, tucked away behind you, deep in the shadows, will be me and the kids. And George says, that's how you see me? Así me ves? Suddenly, I'm a lousy husband and father. Terribles, lousy. Everything was just fine until Beethoven came into our lives. I've tried to be patient, but I've had it. He intentado ser paciente, but I've had it. Hasta aquí he llegado. I've had it. Es como se diría, ya no puedo más. Okay? Buenísima expresión. The dog has to go. So he's giving her an ultimatum. O el perro o yo, básicamente, right? And Alice says, I'm proud of Beethoven. Estoy orgulloso de él. Those two idiots insulted your kids. Idiot, moron, right? They treated me like dirt. Tratar a alguien mal es tratarle como la tierra. And he was the only one of us who had the nerve, las agallas, the nerve to give them the ride they deserved. I'm going to bed. Yo me voy a la cama. Y ahí el error muy común, I'm going to the bed, no es la cama, es el concepto de la cama. I'm going to bed. Well, don't go to bed yet, folks. Why? We've got a party to go to in famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, amigos, it's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Let's see what we've got today. The first person was born today in the year 1981. Okay, an English singer, songwriter, and producer. She released her debut album, Unwritten, no escrito. Great word to know, great adjective. Unwritten. It's pop, influenced by R&B. And, well, she received a Grammy Award nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for the title track, Unwritten. This was at the 2005 and 2006 Brit Awards. She was nominated for Best British Female Artist. Her second album had 10 top UK singles. So that's pretty crazy. That's one. I love the name of this song. I Want to Have Your Babies. Wow. Okay. All right. Soulmate. Buenas canciones. Se puede aprender. Soulmate. Media Naranja. She has also done Love Like This. I'm sure you've heard that one's very popular. Pocket Full of Sunshine. And also Strip Me. Despelótame. Wow. Okay. The next person is simply the best. Do I have to say any more? She's better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Do I have to go on? Okay. She's a head turner. Toma. Ya remato con esa. O sea, atrae. She's a head turner. La gente gira cuando la ve. Right? Le ve. Oh, la ismos there. Okay, so she's a head turner. And last but not least, this guy was born today in 1922. This American cartoonist who died in 2000 gave us Peanuts. No digo poca cosa. Digo Peanuts. Charlie Brown. Snoopy. Woodstock. Peanuts. One of the most famous comic strips ever. And, well, this guy has influenced, I think, every comic strip you'll see even nowadays, from Garfield to Family Circus to whatever comic strips. But this was the guy, the pioneer, I would say, as far as comics were concerned. And he was born today in 1922. All right. Now, the last one, I'll give you a second over here. All right. Well, let me give them to you. And if you get them, Chris, I'll give you the applause as well. I'll tell you what, since I have a feeling you're going to get them. Oh, yeah, you got it. See, I told you. So Chris says, happy birthday, Natasha Bedingfield, the one and only Tina Turner, and Charles M. Schultz. And Charles M. Schultz is the creator of Peanuts. You see? I was trying to give you clues. He hablado de peanuts, nueces. Vimos la palabra peas. I'm trying to help you out here, but you got to be as twisted as I am. Well, at least it's not like sick twisted, no retorcido loco. It's retorcido como me gusta darle vueltas a las cosas. All right, well, this is birthday boy Charles M. Schultz, somebody who brought a lot of happiness to a lot of lives, including mine. And he's talking about doing what he loves. Doing what he absolutely loves. And he says, that's one of the fortunate things. Eso es una de las cosas afortunadas, no? That's one of the fortunate things, he says, is that I think it appeals, no? To appeal to an audience es atrae ese público. I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience, un público amplio. You never really, he says, you never can really slant your work. Now, to slant is, a slant es como un ángulo, ¿no? Si ves como una colina, inclinación, pendiente. But to slant something es poner tu punto de vista, ¿no? Como sesgarlo un poco. That's where the word slant comes from there, okay? So he says, you never really, you never can really slant your work toward, hacia, any specific audience. O sea, no intento hacerlo para ellos, ni para los otros. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny. Lo que tú encuentras gracioso. And just hoping, ¿no? Teniendo la esperanza that everybody else will like it too. And you know what? I apply this to the work I do every day. I know there's no way on earth I'm going to please everybody. But as long as I know that I'm doing what I love to do and what I think is funny, what I think is good English classes, fun English classes, well, then that makes me happy. And I can go to bed with a smile every night. And that's thanks to you guys. So thank you. And here he is, Charles M. Schultz.
This is one of the fortunate things is that I think it appeals to a pretty broad audience. You never can really slant your work toward any specific audience. Like I said before, it's simply a matter of drawing what you think is funny and just hoping that everybody else will like it too.
All right, amigos. Well, we're done for today. Thank you so much for being here with us today and every day. It's been an absolute pleasure, amigos. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao for now.